Really?
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 Really? Really is one of the most overused words in the English language. Of course you can use it. I use it myself, but don't use it all the time. It's annoying. It's a rather lazy way of speaking and writing. So what I want to talk to you about today is alternative words and expressions to replace really. Now, these are small changes that you can make today that will raise your English level. So if you want to improve your English, if you want to impress your listeners and readers with your command of the English language, then use a richer, more interesting vocabulary. Today, we will show you how. So stay tuned. It was a really strange evening I had last night with Sonia. Sonia, if you don't know her, is my girlfriend. And she's really nice, really intelligent and really sweet. It was Sonia's birthday and I decided to take her to this really trendy restaurant in the West End called Artful Dodgers. Its speciality is London street food, which is really weird because it's really posh and it's not on the street. It's on the 50th floor of this really tall building. The place and the decor is really original and really interesting. It's really much better than any other place I know. I went to the Shed the other day, that restaurant that was really recommended on TripAdvisor, and I was really disappointed. Anyway, we were expecting really complicated food, but in fact it was really simple and really good. The main course was avocado on toast. Although I really liked it, I thought it was really overpriced. I mean, £50 for 2 servings of grilled bread, some mashed avocado and a sprinkling of pomegranate seeds scattered on top. I could do it at home and it would be really much cheaper. Anyway, I complained to the waiter that it was really expensive and he got really angry with me. But he was really nice with Sonia, and Sonia was really nice with him. And I really wanted to fight him, but he was really big and really muscular. In the end, he let me keep my £50, but he kept Sonia. The whole thing was really annoying. So, your mission is, if you choose to accept it, is to rewrite the story, replacing the word really either with another word, or you could rewrite the really and the adjective with a completely different word or expression. And you can find the PDF in the description, okay? Anyway, there is no one correct answer, but this is a good exercise in getting you to think about better ways of expressing yourself in written and spoken English. So for this exercise, you can use a dictionary, you can use a thesaurus. A thesaurus, by the way, is a dictionary of synonyms, and I recommend thesaurus.com, but you can find other sources. You can use whatever you want. You can use an app, you can ask a friend, you can phone your grandmother. It doesn't matter. It's all okay. The objective here is just to make the story sound better. Okay, I have my version, which I'll show you in a few minutes. Okay, I'll wait here while you complete the task, so come back when you have finished. Okay, try that.
got me. You got me again.
So here's my version. As I said, it's not the definitive version. Maybe you can do better. You probably can. So let's have a look. It was such a strange evening I had last night with Sonia. Sonia, if you don't know her, is my girlfriend and is so nice. Okay, so I'm using such before an adjective and a noun as an intensifier. Such a strange evening. And you would use so before an adjective on its own. And is so nice. And if you want to know more about the difference between so and such, we do have a video about that. You can find a link to that in the description. And is so nice, remarkably intelligent and terribly sweet. It was Sonia's birthday and I decided to take her to this seriously trendy restaurant in the West End called Artful Dodgers. Its speciality is London street food, which is dead weird. I'm using dead here as the intensifier, which has a similar meaning to very, and you can put it before an adjective, a gradable adjective. I'll give you another example. It's dead hot today. The film was dead good. I'm dead tired. Okay, in this case, it was dead weird because it's awfully posh and it's not on the street. It's on the 50th floor of this extremely tall building. The place and the decor is strikingly original and rather interesting. Now I'm using rather here to mean to a high degree. Rather is one of those words which can have a different meaning, a nuance of meaning depending on how you pronounce it. But I'm using it here to mean to a high degree. It was rather interesting. It's miles better than any other place I know. Now, miles, that means to a great amount or a long way, and it's very common, so do learn it. I'll give you another example. His new record is miles better than his old one. So it's miles better than any other place I know. I went to the Shed the other day. That restaurant there was highly recommended on TripAdvisor, and I was hugely disappointed. Anyway, we're expecting fairly complicated food. Fairly like rather. Again, the word can change its meaning a little bit depending on how you pronounce it. But here I mean to a high degree, just like really. So it's fairly complicated. But in fact, it was really simple. Now there you are. I said that you shouldn't use really too much, but it's okay to use once or twice. So I've used it just once in this story, and here it is. It was really simple and quite exceptional. Quite is another word. The meaning changes depending on the adjective it precedes. Okay, so here this it precedes exceptional, which is a non-gradable adjective. A non-gradable adjective is an adjective which cannot be preceded by very, and here quite has the meaning of completely. Okay, so quite exceptional means completely exceptional. Okay, excellent, if you like. The main course was avocado on toast, which, although I did like it, here I'm using the emphatic do. I'm putting did before an affirmative verb for stress, for emphasis. And we do have a video about that too, the emphatic do. I'll put a link to it in the description. I thought it was way overpriced. Now, way, you can use that to mean a considerable extent or distance. And you can use it before an adverb and often used before to, so TOO. So for example, you are driving way too fast. You're way too old to be a professional footballer. So I thought it was way overpriced. I mean, £50 for 2 servings of grilled bread, some mashed avocado, and a sprinkling of pomegranate seeds scattered on top. That's completely ridiculous. I can do it at home and it would be significantly cheaper.
Anyway, I complained to the waiter that it was unbelievably expensive, and he became furious. I've changed the wording a bit here. Rather than really angry, I've changed the word to furious, okay, which means really angry. He became furious with me, but he was exceedingly friendly with Sonia, and Sonia was very friendly with him. Now, very is a word like really that is often overused, but again, if you use it once or twice, that's okay. So I've used it just once in this story. Sonia was very friendly with him. I was itching to fight him. Here I've changed the wording a bit. I like the word itching, so I've used that. Itching means to have a strong desire to do something. So I was itching to fight him, but he was pretty big. Pretty, just like fairly or rather, can have a different meaning depending on how you pronounce it, but it has the meaning here to a great extent. So he's pretty big and incredibly muscular. In the end, he let me keep my £50, but he kept Sonia. The whole thing was bloody annoying. I'm using bloody here, which is a form of mild swearing. It's not offensive, but it's very common, so do use it. And once again, we have a video about mild swearing. You can find a link to that in the description. So, as I said, this is just my version. I'm sure your version is just as good, if not better. But what I hope this exercise did was to get you thinking about the way you express yourself in English. By the way, the PDF of the second version of the story you can find also in the description, so you can download that if you wish. So really is such a useful word, sometimes easy to use all over the place. But I think you can see here that if you make an effort, which is difficult in the beginning, but becomes easier as you practice using different adjectives we looked at, and over time it will all become much easier. I'll give him a knuckle sandwich and I'll show him who's boss. I will, you know what I mean? No one can talk to me like that. I'm you know, I'm an important person, aren't I? Yeah, I've done, you know, certain things in my time, haven't I? Yeah, and I'm gonna do some more.